Hello friends, welcome back to Yoga with Paige. Today I have a nice full body feel good flow stretch for you. So we don't need any props for this video. It is all level friendly, just meant to feel good, open up, and play around. And if you do see a bruise peeking out underneath my shorts, I did kind of let's just say, bust my butt the other day, so don't be alarmed. It's fine. It's in the healing process, just all the blood flowing to that area. So it looks worse than it is. Whenever you're ready to get started, you can grab your mat and we can get to feeling good. We begin today in easy seat Sukhasana, crossed at the ankles, sitting up nice and tall, taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Taking a moment to come onto the mat, into this practice, and into your feeling body. So focusing on your breath, reaching up through the crown of the head, just going within, noticing how you feel in this moment before we begin. Maybe thank yourself for finding your way to the mat today. And if we had the eyes closed, we can gently blink them open, taking the right hand to the left ear and finding a gentle neck stretch. You can release the left hand down, kind of deepening the sensation here, finding a nice long line. And then exhale, gently switch, keeping the shoulders down, away from the ears. Opening up through the neck. Exhale, release, taking the shoulders in up to the ears. Inhale. Exhale, roll them back. Just taking a few little shoulder rolls, waking them up. We'll be stretching a lot through the upper body, the shoulders, the upper back. Feeling any crinks, any crackles, just noticing them. And taking the hands to the knees, finding a seated cat-cow. Inhale, taking the chest and the gaze forward. And exhale, rounding through the back, using the hands to grip the knees. Moving with the breath. Moving gently here. This is a gentle practice. One more beautiful round. And then meeting back up in neutral spine, taking the hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers and pulling them down, opening through the chest. Deep breaths here, allowing more space, more room for the body to function properly. Breathe, the blood flow. And exhale, hands can come back to heart center or at the hips. We take little torso circles, waking up through the lumbar spine again, saying hello to the hips, finding whatever feels good, whatever pace. Making sure to reverse the circles. And then when you're ready, coming back up to neutral spine. Inhale, arms come above the head. Exhale to twist, but this one's a little different. Our head is going to go the opposite way. So left hand to right knee, taking the gaze to the left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist the other way. Not looking too far or twisting too far, just feeling this opposite movement. Noticing how this feels different than our normal twist when we move with the arms. Balancing out both sides. And releasing back to center. Taking the right hand to the mat, reaching the left overhead, pressing away. Opening up through the side body. Bringing that left shoulder down, trying to reach over the head. Exhale to release and switch. One more breath. Then release and come down onto the belly. Releasing the hands in front of the face, stacking one forearm on the other. Forehead finds the forearm. Feeling length in the spine. Depressing the shoulders down towards the mat. Just feeling this opening in the back of the neck. Deep breaths. On your next inhale, lifting the chest, placing the elbows underneath shoulders and lifting the chest up, Sphinx pose. One breath here. Exhale, releasing the chest down, sending this right arm out to the side, bending the left knee and kicking over, rolling onto the right leg. Opening up through the right shoulder. We can use this left hand to press away from the mat, opening through the upper back. We can maybe take the knee in, opening through the hips. Playing with your own variations here. Maybe adding in something new. Exhale to gently release, rolling onto the other side, extending the left arm to the side. This little scorpion stretch. Beautiful. Exhale, release, rolling back onto the belly. Palms come underneath the shoulders and lifting up into upward facing dog, raising the knees. Beautiful, big inhale. And exhale, lower back down. Arms come out in front. Gazing at the top of your mat, keeping a nice long spine. Inhale, raise the right arm and left leg. Exhale, release. Inhale, raise the opposite. And exhale, release. 2 more times each side. Moving with the breath. Lifting and squeezing on the inhale. And releasing on the exhale. And when we've balanced out both sides, take the arms behind us and come into full locust pose, sending the pelvis down, reaching the shoulders back, squeezing through the glutes, the lower back. Beautiful, release. Hands come underneath the shoulders. We lift up and come into puppy pose, walking the hands out, melting the chest down. Taking a few breaths of a static stretch here, just sinking a little bit deeper with every exhale. Bringing our awareness to the breath. And on your next inhale, slightly lifting the chest, walking the hands back, opening the knees, wide child's pose. Big toes come together, walk the hands out. Take one big breath here, just kind of surrendering the arms. And then draw the palms together, bring the hands behind the head and walk the elbows out as far as we can. Lowering the chest, getting a nice tricep stretch. Exhale, gently release the hands, lift the chest, come onto the bum facing the long edge of the mat, opening the legs for straddle pose, flexing the feet, externally rotating them and the knees back, lifting up, big inhale. Exhale, slowly walk the fingertips forward, doesn't have to be anything crazy here, just where we feel groin stretch. Listening to our body. Focusing on the breath, the sensations. Inhale, lift the chest, drawing the left leg in. And then reaching that left arm overhead, right comes towards the foot. Side body stretch, spiraling the chest open, staying nice and lifted for the moment. And then exhale, sweep that left arm around, coming to face the foot and finding a hamstring stretch. Inhale, we find length in the spine, and exhale, we fold. One more round of breath. Before gently lifting the chest, extending that left leg again for straddle. Taking a few more breaths here, maybe going a little bit deeper, maybe finding ourselves a little bit more open this time around. I like to sway a little bit side to side. Makes it feel like I get more of an opening. Active in the quadriceps here. One more breath. Then lifting the chest, walking the hands back, tucking the right leg in, and reaching for the left foot. Nice and long lines. Letting the thoughts come and go as we flow today. We can notice them and then let them flutter on by. Reaching around for that left foot, squaring the hips and folding over. One more big round of breath here. Then gently lift the chest, come onto the knees, tabletop pose. Finding our neutral spine, spreading through the fingers. I am going to face you. If we want to face the long edge of the mat, we'll be flowing through gate pose. So finding our neutral spine here first. And then pressing through the right leg, lifting the left behind, tiger pose. Just finding this little back bend, squeezing through the glutes, finding strength as well as stretch. Exhale, release it out long to the side, trying to get our heel in line with our knee. Inhale, raise the chest nice and high. Exhale, find a side body stretch. Left hand goes towards the foot. Windmilling around, planting the right hand, reaching the left up. And windmilling around again. Gate pose. Exhale, right hand plants. This time we can come into half moon, lifting the left leg. And then bending that knee, grabbing the ankle, little quadricep stretch. opening through the chest, sending that ankle out behind us, opening through the hips as well, finding our balance. And exhale, gently release, coming back into our tabletop. To begin again. Spreading through the fingers, reaching that right leg behind, tiger pose. Still squaring our hips. Holding here for our breath. And then exhale, send that leg out to the side and reach the arms up. Big inhale. Draw the breath in and exhale, gate pose. Coming back up and over to the left. And using the core to lift up nice and strong, gate pose. Working through the side body, releasing into our half moon variation. Opening through the hips, still active. And then bending the knee, finding our ankle. Taking our gaze to the hand or up to the ceiling, whatever feels good to you. Beautiful. Release down to the mat. Coming back into tabletop. This time we can face the front of the mat if you like. Finding our position first. And then inhale, peel the left arm up. Exhale, thread the needle. Coming to lie on the left shoulder. Releasing that right arm up to the sky. Pressing through the mat, opening here. Noticing this intense stretch in the front of the shoulder. And exhale, gently release, press back up. Reach that left arm up. And come back to tabletop. Taking a few rounds of cat-cow to mobilize through the spine. Balance everything out. Rounding on the exhale. Dropping the belly. Opening through the throat on the inhale. One more round. Before meeting back in tabletop pose, inhale, reach the right arm up high, and exhale, thread the needle. Finding our positioning first before releasing the left arm up. Breathing. On your next exhale, gently pressing back up, reaching the right arm up, and finding tabletop. Walking the hands in front, lifting the knees, downward facing dog, pedal out the feet. Take a moment to lengthen through the spine, reaching the crown of the head down, waking up the backs of the legs, sending the hips up and heels down, finding a static downward facing dog. Holding here for one breath, really elongating everything. Then inhale, lift the heels, roll through the back up onto the toes, high plank, releasing into upward facing dog. And exhale over the toes, downward facing dog. Finding some spinal rolls. Inhale, lifting the heels. If we have another variation of spinal rolls that we like to take instead of these, we can definitely do that. One more round. Inhale, make this one big and strong. And exhale, downward facing dog. Making our way to the top of the mat, however we would like to get there. Forward fold. Inhale, lift. Hands come above the head. Exhale, swan dive, flat back. Forward fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Working through the hamstrings. If we need to keep a bend in the knees, we can do that. modify as we need. One more round like this. Big reach, inhale, and exhale. We meet in forward fold, bending the left leg, planting the left hand, reaching the right up, revolve. Option here, we can bring the hand behind the back and find the opposite thigh. One breath. Exhale to release and switch. Taking whatever variation we did on the first side. Then exhale, release. Bending the knees, grasping the elbows. Just let the head hang. The chest meets the thighs. We let the head release, allowing tension in the neck to flow out, evaporate, gone. Just noticing the blood flow. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale, straighten the legs, halfway lift, reaching the arms behind. Crown of the head reaches forward, nice long spine. Slowly, when we have our footing here, rise up onto the balls of the feet, lifting the heels, squeezing through the calves, using your core, breathing for balance. Maybe we take the hands to heart center. One more deep breath, you got this. And exhale, release, letting the heels drop, hands plant, step back to downward facing dog. Grounding through the left heel, bending the right knee, reaching that left heel down. Sending the hips up, really working through the left calf. And switching sides, bending the left leg. Coming back to downward facing dog, bending the knees, coming down onto the knees, walking the hands back, tucking the toes, lifting the chest up high, rolling the shoulders back. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, cactus, draw the shoulder blades together, spread through the fingers. Inhale, reach, exhale, cactus. One more time, inhale, and exhale. Circling the arms around, coming up onto the feet into Malasana, sending the toes out at an angle and the pelvis down towards the mat. Lifting the chest up high, breathing, bringing our awareness back to the breath if it has wandered. Maybe closing the eyes, taking a little check-in here, how we're feeling so far. Actively pressing down through the pelvis and opening through the knees. One more deep breath. And we can release the hands, coming into staff pose, sending the legs out long. Toes are flexed up high. And we sit up nice and tall. Reach up through the crown of the head, root down through the sit bones. Like someone's pulling you up with a string, like your little puppet. Sending energy out through the heels to the front of the room. And then releasing the arms in front of the chest, slowly rolling down onto the back, tucking the chin, making this as slow and controlled as we can. Releasing. Hugging the right knee into the chest, feeling that hip crease. And exhale, taking the big toe with peace fingers and pulling that hip in. It's like a half happy baby here. Still grounding through the left leg. We're active. And then bringing that right knee across the left leg, touching the toes or the ball of the foot to the mat. Finding a little half cow face pose. You can feel this in the glutes. My inner hip just cracked. Playing around with what feels the best. Maybe we grab the ankle, kind of pull it more upwards. Maybe it's down here, wherever feels good to you. One more breath. And then bending that left leg, crossing the ankle over the knee, bringing both legs into the chest, reverse pigeon. Pressing the lower back into the mat. Breathing nice and deep. Noticing where your thoughts seem to wander. What your mind wants to prioritize at the moment. And realizing that this is the priority at the moment. Everything else can wait. Exhale, release the legs, extending the right. Left knee comes into the chest. Noticing this opening of the hip first before we come into our half happy baby and deepen it. And reaching for the big toe. I like to close my eyes in a lot of supine postures. I'm sure you might have seen if you've practiced with me before. I feel like closing my eyes helps me connect better to my body and when I'm feeling inside, as I'm not distracted by things going on around me as much. And crossing that left knee over the right leg. Still trying to stay square in the hips. Maybe we let the knee fall down a little bit more. Again, just playing around, exploring. Every body is different, so every body is going to feel different in postures, especially ones that maybe aren't so traditional. So we practice taking what we need and leaving the rest. And then bending that right leg, coming into reverse pigeon pose, hugging the legs into the chest, surrendering to this deep glute stretch. Being grounded and supported by the mat and by yourself, by your connection to community and the world around you. One more breath. Exhale, release the soles of the feet to the mat, hip width apart, palms plant down, and we prepare for bridge pose. Exhale, press through the feet and the hands, sending the hips up. Keeping the knees knitted together. We can always place a block in between the knees if we have a hard time keeping our alignment, if they tend to splay outwards. Holding here, balancing throughout the body. This is a great pose to have at the end of a yoga practice. Exhale, release the hips down, coming into full happy baby. Maybe finding a little rock here, massaging the lower back. Releasing any tension in the shoulders or in the face. Deep breaths. Then gently bringing the feet in together. One more little hip opener here. Bringing the feet into the chest and releasing the knees together, letting them slowly and carefully drop to the right side for a twist. We can gaze over our left shoulder the opposite way, just like we did in the beginning. Just wringing out the spine. Coming back to our calm, normal state of breathing. Exhale, lifting the knees and gently twisting to the left and the right. Surrendering, letting go. And on your next exhale, we can gently bring the knees back up, extending the legs. Arms can come beside us, palms facing up. Taking a few moments here to end our practice with a little Shavasana. Going back within, noticing how we feel now before we continue to just focus on the breath and let go of any thoughts. A little check-in before we release. Relaxing the face, and the jaw, and the shoulders, the hips, the belly, letting the breath flow freely. Relaxing the feet and the hands, letting all of these stretches sink in and work their magic. And gently coming back to the body, wiggling any toes, maybe rolling out the neck side to side. Taking any movements necessary to come back into the room before gently rolling to one side and coming to a sitting position. One more big inhale and exhale, hands to heart center. It's an honor practicing with you. Thank you for joining me today. The light in me honors the light in you, and I look forward to seeing you again on the mat very soon. Namaste.